Good morning, welcome to GrainTV. Today's June 12, 2012. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right is Brock Shimano. Well, Brock, we did get out the June WASDE report this morning. What are we looking at here for ending stocks?
Corn ending stocks for 11-12 were actually left unchanged. Soybeans were down 35 million bushels and wheat was down 40 million bushels. Corn used for ethanol actually was increased 50 million bushels. Counteracting that though was exports were expected to decline 50 million bushels due to continued slow sales. Soybeans exports were actually increased and crushings were actually increased, and for wheat exports were increased and food use was increased. So that's why we end up with these changes that we saw here. But the big story, I think, looking forward is going to be the 12-13 ending stocks.
Yeah, if we do turn our attention here, kind of the same story for corn. We did not see a change from the May WASDE report. As you can see here, the right column's May, middle column's June, and the average guess here is kind of what the trade is expecting. So they left that unchanged. It came in higher than the trade expectations for that. So it looks like that's weighing on corn a little bit here early, in the early going. Soybeans, as you said, 35 million bushel reduction in 11-12. That contributed to a slight reduction here from the May report. Came in well below where the trade was expecting. Or in the early going, we saw soybeans rally off the open. Like corn and wheat, though, it has now started to sell off here. If we turn our attention to wheat came in actually well below trade expectations here. 694 million bushels for 2012-2013 ending stocks projected today. Well below where the trade is expecting, but the wheat complex as well is selling off here. It certainly looks like the trade is not worried about new crop wheat here at this point. Another big thing that we saw was production out of South America. If we turn our attention here to Argentina, as you can see here, we did see a reduction for corn and soybeans out of 11-12 production. Came in higher than what the trade is expecting. These are slight adjustments here. Not really the big driver today, but what did we see out of Brazil?
Yeah, Brazil actually got a slight increase in the corn production that's anticipated, quite a bit higher than what the actual industry was expecting. Soybeans right on par with what the industry was expecting. But I think the other fundamental news that started driving the market as it opened last night was the crop progress and conditions. We saw quite a bit of big reductions in corn and soybeans. I think the story for corn is that Illinois and Indiana both were reduced by about 10% on the good to excellent ratings, so that's really going to drive the corn market as we move forward. Something we're going to have to pay attention to on our weather maps from Planalytics.
Yeah, certainly. Well, things do remain very dry out there. That was reflected in this crop condition report that we saw come out yesterday. We had a lot of fundamental news come out here last night with crop condition and this morning with WASDE. Kind of how'd that play out in the market today, Brock?
Yeah, as you can see right now on our Fire Tip Live quotes here, old crop corn is down about 9 cents. Old crop beans down about 1.5 cents. Wheat in Chicago down 10.5 cents, and Kansas City wheat following along down 7.25 cents this morning.
But yeah, Brockwell, kind of contributing to this is a dollar index, which is actually strengthening here this morning. But kind of the interesting thing that we noted on the when this report was released was that soybeans did rally in the early going here as high as up 20 cents at one point. Kind of on the heels of that 11-12 and 12-13 reduction in ending stocks. It is sold off, though, trading about unchanged right now. But, this is kind of a big day here for the grain markets. We haven't had a WASDE report be released while the markets were trading. They actually extended pit hours, so the report came out at 7:30 Central Time. The pit actually opened up at 7:20, so there was some good volume in the market. People were worried about kind of liquidity issues surrounding this report, maybe a big move. But this wasn't really a robust WASDE report, not really pushing things around that much. It seems like it went well for the grain market here this morning. That kind of wraps up our show here for Tuesday morning, the WASDE edition report. Thanks a lot for joining us on GrainTV. Have a great rest of your day.